Welcome to the Recovering Perfectionist Podcast, where I empower you to develop sustainable habits, challenge society, and take messy action. I'm Christine, life balance coach and world champion ballroom dancer, and I believe that everyone has the power to create their very own life by design. The Recovering Perfectionist Podcast was created with a mission to encourage a life of abundance by finding peace and acceptance in our own imperfections and developing healthy self-love through sustainable habits and manifestation. It's time to align with the universe for the full human experience and redefine what it really means to be successful.
It's too good, the secret is out and wow.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Recovering Perfectionist Podcast. So many new exciting things. Yes, I skipped a week for those who are keeping track. I'm officially a married woman as of 2 weeks ago, and we went on like a mini honeymoon / family vacation / all of the things. And so I thought, you know what? As a recovering perfectionist, give myself some grace. Don't try to rush and throw out an episode that's not going to be of value and resonate. And so I decided to skip a week. And this week I have something really exciting that kind of fell into my lap, which is kind of cool and totally on brand with the recovering perfectionist, because I'm always trying to let the universe make some decisions and not always try to control every situation and have everything planned out. So in true form, the universe brought me this beautiful gift, and I had a wonderful gentleman reach out to me, a fellow coach. His name is Jordan Tomasone, and he reached out to me in regards to just talking shop, sharing ideas, kind of learning from each other, and we had a fabulous conversation. And afterwards, I felt like the conversation was so important and so relevant to so many different people and just had so many golden nuggets in it. I really felt like I should share it with my audience. So I asked him permission if I could share, and I'm going to attach the conversation that we had so that you guys all can hear how two people meeting for the first time, two coaches, so in the same profession, but just understanding how to discuss values and morals of life and just theories on human psychology and how people think. And I hope this serves you.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. Forgive my background. I'm not in my normal office. I'm kind of pseudo on vacation with family doing stuff. So
Yeah, no worries. That's cool.
I'm just using one of their offices. But yeah, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. Yeah, I'm doing really good. It's been a good day, good week. Can't complain.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been seeing some of your stuff online. You've got a lot of cool things that you're doing.
Yeah, I have lots going on. Always living, I don't know, a different lifestyle, I guess, trying to bring in abundance, doing what I want. And that's led me down this kind of coaching path that has been, wishy-washy all around. And led me to this week, which I've been focusing on talking to experts like you, trying to just get my brain to process what it's like to be a coach who has a sustainable business and they're living the lifestyle I want.
Sure.
With my journey so far, I just haven't, reached that yet. And I'm trying to kind of remove old patterns and bring in new ones by surrounding myself by successful people like yourself. And that's kind of why I've been scheduling these calls. That's where I'm at.
That's awesome. Very cool. I mean, listen, you can't not find the answers when you're searching for them in that way. So that's fantastic. I admire what you're doing. Most people wouldn't take the time to do that. So
cool. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it just kind of came, sometimes you get those downloads in your mind and you just take action. And that was,
sure.
This is kind of one of them.
So you found me through Mel, yeah?
Yeah, she mentioned you in that post. Mel also seems awesome. I don't really know her, but she seems like she's living a sweet lifestyle as well.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I worked with her like middle of last year. She was one of my coaches for a minute. She was helping me with a lot of like the logistics, so the funneling and the, kind of having the back end of your business, technologically speaking.
Okay.
That was just an area that I was just not familiar with. I've always been kind of the face of things. I've always worked in entertainment. I've content creation, social media, all that stuff. But I've never really understood how, you get people into your funnels and doing all those things and, setting up your email automations and all of that. So she's brilliant at that. And, I connected with her middle of last year during the pandemic and was like, I need your help. And she was fantastic. And then I've just kind of, I already kind of had my thing going, but it was very small and it was very, it just wasn't automated. I think that's the thing with coaches is that, especially people who come from like, my business coach calls us serial entrepreneurs, where we're constantly had our hands in lots of different pots. And the problem with that is that we become everything, and there's some TikTok memes out there that are like, I'm the assistant and I'm the receptionist and I'm the packager and I'm the content person. And it's like, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like we shouldn't be normalizing that,
Yeah.
because you easily burn out. And what's the point of not working a 9 to 5 when, you know what I mean? Because you're doing that and working and doing every job versus like now you get to work for yourself and it almost becomes 10 times harder. So the automation of your business is totally where you get the freedom. People think I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to own a business and I'm going to gain freedom. And it's like, no, you are actually like enslaving yourself in this new box. And it's crazy. So my business coach is big on that as well, that I work with now. He's big on automation and making sure that things are, you don't need to double check everything, trust the softwares that you use, trust the process. And if you create a really good system, there's no reason why you shouldn't work a couple hours a day just to, do admin things or just do the coaching. You can hire someone to even do admin stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. How long have you been doing this?
Yeah. First off, thanks for sharing that. I already got a couple good downloads, especially with the, like, you don't have to double check everything. Cause I get a little bit of anxiety around that, especially with like Zoom calls. Like if there's a Zoom call and I like join on and it's like 4:05 and it's not working or they're not there, I'm like, do I have the wrong link? I have like a little bit of anxiety around those things. So it's nice to receive
perfectionism. It's a scary, it's really good because we create things at a high level, but I have a podcast called The Recovering Perfectionist, and I come from an industry. My family business is ballroom dancing.
Okay. And I saw your wedding dance. I watched that quick.
Yeah,
it was really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we just got married like 2 weeks ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. But I became a world champion at the age of 21, and It was a lot. It was amazing. My dad's in the industry, but basically the concept of the industry is if you're not perfect, if you don't have a hair out of place and all these things, then people don't even look at you. And that's not reality. And that's not healthy. And none of that is good. So it was an amazing industry to be a part of. It gave me so many things, more things than it hurt me. But those are the things that I had to rewire when I got out of that industry and accomplished everything I wanted to. I was like, okay, like this perfectionist thing, like I can't constantly be double checking myself all the time or feeling like I always have to be on everywhere, because I'm basically enslaving myself in my own mind. It's really exhausting. So I understand what you're talking about. And that is something I help a lot of people do, is kind of get out of that perfectionist zone,
Yeah, I just want to take that down, that like enslaving in your own mind. That's also resonating very well. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing with that. Yeah. And about me. Yeah. So I started my like kind of coaching journey back when I was in high school. So I'm like 26 now. So whatever, like 8 years ago.
Nice.
Started developing myself, and then through that started to help one of my friends and like kind of helped him with his positive mindset a little bit. Once we kind of got on the same level, we decided to team up, build a like personal development brand. So I would film videos on personal development and traveling. He'd be my back end kind of guy, website stuff, all that. So we did that for like 2 years while I was traveling and working, and he was just kind of doing that. And then I quit my job and like went full time, and also decided to build a camper van and like invest a bunch of money on coaches, courses, all this kind of stuff. And then he got a full-time job. So kind of like switch roles, and I took on like everything plus the van and all these coaches, and spent about 3-4 months kind of in that, to the point of like I had to, like stop all the coaching and everything I wanted to do and just build my van, because otherwise it wasn't going to get finished.
Right.
So, built the van, and then went to another like one-on-one mentorship that I'd paid for. And then after that, like nothing was really working. And as I'm at, this was 2018, and I realized it was more so me than it was my coaches. Is that I just wasn't serious enough. I was half-assing it. I wasn't fully committed. I didn't want to, get through the uncomfort, the highs, and normalize them. And I just kind of said, screw it, and stopped everything. Went down to Florida in my van, ran out of money and ran out of line of credit. So I was in debt, and then just said like, screw it, I'm done with business. Went to work, loved myself, learned how to love myself in that process of just like showing up and working. And then I re-injured my leg, so I couldn't keep working. And after like kind of wishy-washy depression, trying to figure myself out with the pandemic into last year, around July, I got it's called Freedom Business Mentoring. It's like a coaching program for like a severe discount, or like the black market of the internet.
Okay.
And that just kind of like started me back into this like coaching entrepreneurship world. And then I went from being an accountability coach to a student success coach to a procrastination coach. And then a recent investment in February, which is like a really awesome coaching program with like accountability and all that stuff, like guideline, like course with full coaching. So I'm really happy with that and where I'm at with that.
That's awesome.
And that led me to more so being aligned with what I want to do, which is this like routine kind of self-love thing. And now I'm at the point of like doing some free coaching and market research. And like through that, I've been helping people. But I just haven't, like, my brain's just not making the connection of like the end result that people want and how I can kind of get them in and what that is. And like, that's all there in front of me. And I think it might just be more time. But again, I just got that download to talk to people like you and just kind of hear your story, hear what's going on, maybe get some tips. And I've already had some awesome breakthroughs, like from what you shared already and other people I've talked to. And it's really helping me see, like, first off, there's a lot of coaches. Second off, everyone's different, but like, it's so possible and it always works. And it's just really simplifying things, on a level and getting towards that.
I feel like that's amazing. Also, your story is fantastic.
Thanks.
I feel like we all get to the same place. Like when you talk to a lot of these coaches, we all are at the same place of like self-actualization in a certain place, like where there's always room for growth. There's always like, I have so many things in my own space that I want to be better, but you go through this, like you said, loving yourself and all of these kinds of things. We all get to that point and we can all like share and have these great mastermind conversations, but we all got there in a different way. Everyone's journey is completely different. And that's what makes everyone so excited to learn from each other, because no one's journey was the same. And it's like, wow, that's how you got there. I got there, but I did it this way. And all of a sudden now you're learning almost like the same lesson twice, but in a different way. And it's just growing and expanding the lesson, and just helping you to learn more about yourself. And you're like, wow, I didn't think about that. I'm kind of like that too. And then you start to relate. It's a beautiful experience. The more coaches I talk to, the more I'm just like, this is so great. This is the space I've been craving for so long, because I related so much to entertainers and dancers and all of that kind of stuff. And it's a great space to be in. I mean, we're a very unique, type of people, but there's a lot of rose-colored glasses in that industry, as there are in many. And that's one of them that I'm just like, I felt like a lot of the higher ups in our industry, because it's a very small industry, we're kind of trying to pull the rug over on a lot of people, and everyone's trying to get their piece of the pie. And with coaches, we are very transparent. Everything's about honesty, and you can't fully understand who you are without being transparent and being open. And we are constantly sharing the fact that there's so much pie to go around. No one's trying to take your pie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in my first industry, that's exactly what it was. It's like, if I share my piece with you, I have less pie. And it's like, no, that's really not it works. There is plenty to go around, and coaches live on abundance. And like you said, all of the joys of, there is infinite amount. The universe is here for everybody. You just have to take your piece of it, and a lot of people just don't want to work hard to get to that point.
Yeah.
They just don't, you can tell them exactly what they need to do, and they'll wait till they don't, they'll never do it. Like you said, procrastination, all that stuff. So it's the people who actually take control of their life and really understand manifestation and all of these different things, and how to live in abundance, even when the world doesn't feel like it's abundant. That those are the people that thrive and that end up finding what they want. They do it their way. My I almost said fiance, my husband and I, we were watching back videos, and, we're going through all of the photography, videography from the wedding, and the little details of things that we decided to do that maybe the older generations didn't feel was traditional, or was just more on our budget, or more in our mindset of how we do things. And he said to me, he's like, wow, it's really cool. Like, we really did our wedding our way. Like, we didn't let anyone push us around. And it's like, we do everything our way. We do our life our way. We don't let people tell us we can't do, especially during the pandemic. People were telling us certain things that we couldn't do. We were very, very safe. None of us got corona. We're very healthy people, but we still did things our way. And everyone has their own level of feeling like they can conquer something, different things in their life that they've experienced, and their own level of comfort. And you have to do it your way. You have to take control and not let society or your parents or, friends shame you or judge you for doing things a way that you feel comfortable doing it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't see why you can't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Do you, you said you did videography? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I made videos and stuff a little bit. I don't know if I said that or not, but yeah, I've done that. Or yeah, I made YouTube videos. That's what it was. Yeah.
Right. So you were saying something about a friend that you worked with, and you were doing all the video work and everything. So my husband has a digital media business. So he has tons of equipment, he's mainly a videographer. He can do photography as well. But he thrives in the videography space. So that's really cool. We create a lot of content for our channels, and kind of our little travel blog together and different things.
Sick.
But that's really, really neat that you do that. I love meeting other creators and people who think on that level. It's just a different line of space that people think when you're creating something from nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool, that process.
Yeah.
I'm still not I'm not at that point where, like, I always have great ideas in my mind for videos.
Yeah.
I haven't put enough time in to be able to take that idea and put it into the video.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I do love it. I admire, all videographers and what they do. And yeah, it's an interesting mindset to get into.
It is.
So, yeah, I've considered myself kind of like a jack of all trades. And I think that's what brought me into the struggle with trying to find a coaching niche and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm thinking this is helping a lot.
Sure.
It's because initially I got into that, I can help everybody.
We've all been there.
trying to narrow that down. And when I saw your stuff, there was one thing you posted, I think yesterday, I forget what it was, but it was or your thing is healthy, happy, and something else. Do you remember this?
Healthy, let's see, I posted so many things recently.
Yeah, it was a story.
Oh,
or maybe you're doing some live or something soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my coaching program is called Healthy Habits and Happiness. Is that what you're looking
that's
at?
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what I do is because it was the same thing. I was working with my business coach. We were trying to come up with an offer. I was like, I do everything. I can help you, whatever you need. And he's like, yeah, but that's not marketable. And he's right. That's what's kept me in 10 years of just, constantly chasing my tail. And so he said, what is it that you really enjoy doing? And what is it that you feel that you can help people do and gain massive results? And I said, honestly, I don't think people know how to balance their life and have habits that allow them to throw new things into their life. So people will get on a pattern of life, and they'll have, oh my gosh, yes, I'm working out and I'm doing things, I'm doing great and everything's great. And then life throws them something and puts a wrench in it and they don't know how to come out of that. It's like, oh, well, now I'm not working out anymore. And now I have this and now this happened and whatever. And they don't know how to balance that. But if you have systems in place in your life that are sustainable, what that allows you to do is to fall back on those muscle memories. And I take that all from dancing. That's completely my dance career that helped me do that, because we learn choreography with muscle memory. Everything is subconscious. And most of the things we do in our life are subconscious. We don't realize that they are. And so by doing that, I help people to kind of take away all of the things that are just not serving them. You know, all of the wasted time of things that they do, of scrolling on social media, of meeting up with people that they feel required to meet up with, taking toxic people out of their life, wasting energy and anxiety and fear on things that don't matter. Things, all the stuff the society thinks you have to have, the big house, the big car, the new shoes, the new bike, the whatever, all of those things you have to maintain. You know, and I was just talking to my business coach the other day. He's like, oh my gosh, when I became a millionaire, I bought everything. He's like, and then immediately I wanted nothing. He's like, I sold so much stuff. He's like, it doesn't make sense. He's like, now I have to clean everything. Now I have to maintain all this stuff. He's like, I wanted a dog. Now I have to train the dog. Like, like what? You know, it just doesn't make, everyone thinks that they want these things. And then they add all of these extra responsibilities to their life that now they have to do. And it's like, if you just streamline your life, A to Z, what is the end goal? What are you trying to accomplish? And what we end up doing is society distracts us and we end up doing this and we never get to the end goal. And so I help people create what I like to call sustainable habits, which is the logic. And I work with manifestation as well, which I like to call the magic. And manifestations, I ended up having a manifestation coach that helped me just more with my feelings and more understanding my, you know, limiting beliefs and childhood traumas that it's more of the therapeutic side of things. And I think if you're not suffering from something very severe traumatically, like suicidal, depression, really intense things, then you really don't need a therapist. You just need a life coach. You need someone that's going to help guide you in a direction that's going to help you work towards the goals you're trying to accomplish. And basically, I just look at all of the things that my clients are doing. And I'm like, okay, this is your goal. And these are all the habits you have. And half of these habits are not serving this goal. So why are we doing them? You know, and it's like, they don't know how to answer that because it's like obvious, you know? And so we start to release, and it's like, well, if you want to do these things, then this is clearly not your goal. If you're that attached to drinking a lot, then this is clearly not your goal. You know what I mean? If you're that attached to this person, then having peace of mind where people don't stress you out is clearly not your goal. You know what I mean? But they're like, no, but I don't, you know, I want to feel less stressed. And I said, this person is stressing you out. Like, you know, like, and you can hear it. And the things that they avoid are the things that are bothering them. And we just kind of slowly, one by one, dissect these things. And I have general things that I do. You know, I have a really good ebook that, you know, just helps you get started of like cultivating your inner circle and, you know, superfoods and supplements and exercise and water and sleep, you know, basically the performance pyramid, all of these things that people are like, I don't know why people think that it's like, I can, how many hours of sleep did you get last night? Oh, like 5, but I'm fine. It's like, you know, you don't have to survive on 5 hours of sleep, right? Like you're not getting bonus points at the end of your life because you had 5 hours and I didn't.
No.
And that's why people get sick. And that's why people let themselves run ragged. And it's like the whole, you can sleep when you're dead thing. Like all of these things are just societies. Like we cannot normalize this stuff. These are things that you have to be like, no, I need my sleep. I need good food. I need, like, these are priorities of life that help you to just perform at a much higher level. And my husband and I, we travel a lot and we do a lot of things. And our wedding was a massive production. It was a week of wedding showers, bachelorette parties, rehearsal dinners, family dinners, the actual event. Like it was an itinerary, the whole thing. And our bridal party was fine with it because they're like, this is how we work. And we made everything really easy, but follow the itinerary. you know, like it's not that hard, but we perform at this level because we know we can. And at night we take our supplements, we get our sleep, we don't compromise. We make sure that, you know, oh, I've got to do this. No, I'll just delegate someone to do that so that I can go do what I need to do. And I don't need to have my hand in everything. I have a team for that. And that's why we're able to do so much more, is because we have amazing people around us that we build things with, you know. Yeah. And that's a different lifestyle. I mean, some people cannot handle the lifestyle that we have. Like my mom, yeah. she just needs to balance her life. She's like, I need more sleep. I need to not be controlled by my phone. And I need to, you know, not procrastinate. Like those are if she could like stop those three things, done. Her life would change drastically. She doesn't want the lifestyle I have. And I get that. But you have to decide what lifestyle you want. And then you have to lay out the path to how to get that. And that's what I help people do.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's so nice. Your energy is very wonderful, by the way.
Thank
so
you.
Happy to share space with you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny how you said that last part at the end, because that's what the other guy I was talking to yesterday said, or today, I think. He's like, we're going to sit down. He was like so businessy though. He's like old school business guy. But anyways, he's like, yeah, we're going to sit down, we're going to do a strategy session, and we're going to build, you know, your goals. And then we're going to build the business so it like matches your lifestyle. And I was like, oh, so it's nice that this is like the theme of today. So I'm taking that down. It
is. Yeah. Strategy sessions are important. But it needs to be fun too. Like I've had a few people say to me, oh, so, you know, you're always working with people and their problems. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I help people build their dream lifestyle. So it's all fun. Like, yeah, we go through some limiting beliefs and, you know, childhood traumas and things like that. But we're basically like laughing, like, okay, like what's the end goal? Like, are we going to make $1 million this year? You know, like, like, are we going to buy that dream home that you want? Are you going to go to that trip to Bali? Like, what are we doing? You know, like, and we'll talk about like, okay, so you're going to wear this in Bali, right? You know, like things like that, so that it feels real, so that you are actually living in the moment and you're taking it in, and it's like it's already happened because it's already there for you, right? If you understand manifestation, which even just you saying, I only have 2 people in my life that say, I like to share space with you, and they're very spiritual people. Yeah. So I already know by that phrase that you are someone who's done some deep inner work. Yeah. And it's really important to understand how you can create these things on a high level by understanding the timeline of the universe, that we just need to up level into a different timeline that already exists, that we're already there. And by believing in that reality, it's the actually, I'm going to read it straight from what my manifestation coach said, because it was so brilliant. If you base all your beliefs off of what you see in your reality, you'll never change your life. It's when you believe it that you'll see it. And unfortunately, society is more made up of realism and realists, and they have to see it to believe it. And then when you start to tell them about God or religious type things, or, you know, miracles, things like that, then it's like, well, how do you explain that? You don't see that. You believe that it is there. You pray, you do all these things, and they don't know how to respond to that. I said, that's what energy is. Whatever it is that you could call it whatever you want, it's working whether you believe it or not. And if you're constantly thinking, well, this is the only thing that can happen because historically this is what's always happened, then you will never be the person that's going to make a different life than what's already been done. You know, you're never going to be the Kobes, the Bezos, the Elons, none of those people. And not everyone wants to be those people, but those people are why you have an iPhone. Yeah. They're why we have electric cars. They're why we have, because they had a vision, and they didn't say, oh, well, we're just going to live with these big boxy PCs. It's like, no, we can do better. And when you do better and you believe you can do better and you know better, then you do it, you know, and everybody can do that. You can be a Bezos and an Elon and all those people on a minor level. It doesn't have to be at that level, but just believe that you can have a great day today. Believe that you can lose the 5 pounds that you're looking for, or the 30 pounds, or the 50 pounds that feels completely impossible. Whatever it is, you can find your soulmate. He or she is out there. Like these are things that people daily struggle with. They're like, I'm never going to fall in love. I'm never going to get the dream job. I'm never going to have $1 million. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess if you believe that that's true, and everyone around you is telling you it's true as well, that's why you have to cultivate a good inner circle. Because people in my inner circle, like I can literally tell them, hey, I'm going to be the first person to walk on Mars. They'd be like, cool, can I go too? Like they wouldn't be like, you're nuts. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you have to cultivate people around you that believe in what you want to do. And you can go to them. And my parents, it started with my parents who always told me, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter what you want to do. So my brother's an actor in Los Angeles. He's on Westworld. He's on a new show on Apple Plus. He's been pursuing one path for a very, very long time, and it's finally paying off. And my parents, he came from Kansas in the Midwest, and we both did. And everyone around him was like, oh, you're so cute. He's a cute little dancer and he's going to be famous and whatever. But what is he really going to do? And my dad's like, he's going to be an actor. Like that's what he wants to do. Like, that's a real thing. And he graduated high school early, moved out at 17, and he's been doing it ever since. Wow. You just do. You just have to do. Don't listen to everyone else around you because they're scared. They're jealous. Like I always tell people, don't take advice from people you don't want their life.
Yeah.
Just
That's
don't.
a big thing I've been really doing now.
Yeah.
The biggest one is family for me. It's like really shutting them out.
It's hard. And it's not about shutting them out. My dad is the pusher in our family. He's the one that's like, go, do whatever you need. Like, I support you. My mom 100% supports us, but she's the 9-to-5, believes in, the government is here to help you, vaccines, all the things. Not a bad thing. I'm not against those things, but I see the other side of the coin.
Yeah. Yeah.
and my mom is very traditional and just does not understand this lifestyle and all that stuff. So I create boundaries with her. It's not shutting her out. It's just boundaries, healthy boundaries for my mental health. That just, I don't share everything with her. We don't talk every day like I do with my dad, because she's not helping me develop new things. She's going to question when I tell her I have a new business idea. Oh, but how do you do taxes in that? And she's going to be a little bit of the haziness on the parade, and not because she's trying to be, just because she's trying to parent and trying to be one step ahead before the rain falls. And I'm like, but you don't, the other shoe doesn't have to fall. Like, it can actually happen. And so it's just creating healthy boundaries with those people. And because I've tried to talk her through it and bring her up to my level, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen, because she doesn't want to be there. And so I can't make her want to be there.
Yeah.
So we just are different around her in the sense of like, this is what mom can handle. So when we do things with mom, we do it this way. When we do things with dad, it's very different, Yeah. So, I hope that helps. It's a lot, but I could talk about this kind of stuff for hours. So I'm glad that you said, wanted to chat. What I want to know is exactly like, what are you looking for? Because I have a lot of resources. I have a lot I have programs. I have things. I mean, I don't know if you necessarily want to work with me. I think it looks like you're doing some more market research. I have some amazing coaches I work with that maybe, I don't know if they would do a call specifically like this. They would probably look to work with you in that sense, but they're like A-level, like cream of the crop kind of coaches. What are you trying to do at this point?
Yeah, I'm just, not looking to invest or anything right now. I already have, like with that program, my other coaches, I have like 4 people I'm kind of getting coached by. So that's as much as I can handle. So it's more market research, just trying to like, see your vibe and all that thing.
Sure.
And then the only question I'd have, if you still have a few moments, would be,
of course.
Because it seems, I guess what I'm getting from you is like, you're almost more so doing just general life coaching, but you've kind of branded it. So when you're finding people or the clients that you, come work with you, is that some kind of niche that you have? Is that some kind of end results that you get? Or do you still do this like kind of big package thing and people just come to you and you're like, yeah, this, you both vibrate together and it makes sense and you just kind of coach them?
I push the sustainable habits. That's my thing. The manifestation is how we supercharge your life, right? And it's also, I got certified in manifestation through my coach. And so I felt like it was something nice to add to what I do. I do a lot of mindset, so that really feeds into manifestation. But I push the sustainable habits. So my clients that I work with right now they're overwhelmed with their schedule. They feel like their life runs them and they don't run their life. They have too many responsibilities. They've added too many things to their plate. They don't know how to get out of it. It's a speeding train that cannot slow down. And so it's a lot of actually like really successful entrepreneurs or people who work corporate jobs that are just like, I need freedom. I need time for myself. So we work on, have you ever read the book Essentialism?
No.
Magic book.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Essentialism by Greg McKeown. It's all about simplifying your life. It's the concept of what the minimalists did on Netflix, but completely taken to the next level, down to certain things about like, if you get a work email and you're the first person to jump on it, you know what I'm saying? Like I was that person, the perfectionist vibe, that person that's always like, and what happens is that you end up being the person without even saying it. You're the person everyone ends up going to. I'm always that person in my life. My husband and I were just talking about it today. Like we're slowly starting to remove the layers of like, you do you. And if you need me, I mean, I used to be on the phone and be like, okay, cool. Well, if you need me, call me. Or if you need me, I'm here. And it's like, I am here. Of course I'm here. But what do you need me for? Like, let's be honest, like use me for what I'm best at. Don't just call me for random stuff. And then I'm now solving your problems that you could probably solve by yourself or get someone else, or you don't really need me. You know what I mean? And so many of my clients, they're overwhelmed with the amount of responsibilities they've attached to themselves, and they don't know how to pull out of that because they're like, people are going to hate me. You know, I have kids, I have a husband, I have PTA stuff, I have corporate stuff, I've got work stuff, I have a dog. I mean, they're exhausted and they're like, how do I stop this? And I've been there, and it is very, very hard to see it when you're on the inside, and they need someone like me on the outside to be like, okay, Aunt Sally over here, why is she coming up on your schedule every 5 minutes? What is she providing in your life? And they have excuse after excuse after excuse. And I give them like, okay, but what's the end goal? If she's not a part of the end goal, you're going to have to create some boundaries with her, or you're going to have to not. One of my clients, she's like, I got an extra 2 hours where I could have gone to sleep earlier. I was like, amazing. She's like, but I decided to do a video instead, right? She's like, I decided to make this video for my daughter for her school and blah, blah, blah. I mean, amazing, but you don't need to fill your free time with stuff to do. You can actually enjoy taking a break. That's part of your mental health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That should be included in your schedule. It's mind-blowing for some people. But that was me to a T. Like now that I can talk about it, it's like, I see the other side. Yeah. And then I have a couple clients who have really suffered through this pandemic where now they're working from home and they don't know how to work from home. So they are getting up later. They're eating like crap. They're not exercising. They're sitting in their PJs on their computers all day long. So they're, back aches and their eyes hurt and all of these things. And it's like, okay, but like, let me teach you how to be like a mini entrepreneur while still working a corporate job from home. So that you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you have to teach them how to live again.
Yeah. Yes.
And so we're rebuilding their day. So it's like, okay, we're using the Pomodoro effect, which is, you understand what that is. Yeah. So we do. And that changed my whole client from 1 week to the next. She's like, oh my God, I started doing an hour and a half on and 20 minutes off. I went outside. Is like my whole day changed. And I was like, I know, it's crazy. So
sick.
But what's cool is I love to see them discover this for the first time, because it's like I want them to see that their life can significantly change with small, minor adjustments. It doesn't have to be, oh no, I have to lose 50 pounds in order to have a great life. Oh no, I have to make all this money in order to get a better house in order to do. No, you don't. You can easily just fit 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, do some gratitude, go outside, eat better, meal prep on Sunday. Like there are so many things that we can do that really don't take that much extra effort to just reformulate your habits so that you can live a more sustainable and efficient lifestyle. And that's what I thrive on. So yes, it does become a little bit all inclusive sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's any life coaching. I mean, I
Mhm.
worked with Mel on ClickFunnels and systems on my computer of technology. And we got into talking about my personal life and why I was resisting some stuff because I was stressed out and I wasn't focusing on what she wanted me to focus on. And it all ties in because you can't be successful if you don't have your head right. It's your mindset,
Yeah.
So whatever it is they're dealing with, we talk about that. I do become a little bit therapeutic in some areas so that we can make sure we don't let those things fester. And then we focus on the task at hand and make sure we're always working towards the goals that they put in their client profile at the beginning, and I do a 12-week program. So we kind of, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter to kind of like get, you know what I mean? Just hit mile markers and things like that.
Yeah. It's like a bit of a guideline, but you adjust with each person.
Totally. Yeah. And
Cool.
everyone's different. And I love that because I feel like every client that I talk to has different needs and different desires. And it makes it, interesting for me to not feel like I'm constantly in dancing. I literally was teaching the same box step over and over and over again to different people. And I was over it after a while. I was like, I cannot keep doing this.
Yeah.
But with clients now, with coaching, I get to affect someone's world. My one of my clients is building a business and she got her first paying client yesterday, and like all capital letters sent me this huge message. She's like, I'm vibrating so high right now. And like that feeling was incredible. I was like, she's like, I couldn't have done this without you. I'm like, we did this together. You did this just as much as I did. I can only do half the work and guide you. You have to do it, and it empowers them to feel like I can do this,
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful. Thank you for all those details. It's so wonderful. Like my brain is just like, yes. Like it's just like so many connections are happening. Because like you said, like I've kind of put myself into, or like you mentioned, like putting myself into a box.
Yeah.
Or like when you're in it, it's hard to see outside of it, right?
For sure.
So by you, saying everything you're saying, I'm like opening my box and like kind of being able to look down and make these connections.
For sure.
With what you said, especially with the process of like, there's like common themes with your clients that are coming in, and you have a general guideline, but you're flexing with them and getting them to where they want to get. And just being able to hear that from someone who's doing it is just my mind is like, oh, this is what I needed. It's just like it's awesome. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And my manifestation coach always told me that you're going to attract the people who are like you, that have your past problems and that are looking for what it is that you're providing. And I see that all the time. I relate to so many of my clients. I'm like, oh my God, that was me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you just said something I've said a year ago, or I relate to that. So I'm still dealing with that issue. And that is the coolest part too. In ballroom dancing, I had to be perfect and I had to be it now. There was no this like growth in progress kind of thing. But in coaching, you are truly that meme that goes around on Instagram that says, I can simultaneously be where I need to be, but also be a work in progress. And that's what it is I'm trying to up level in my life to a next point, but I'm also coaching people. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a good coach, because I'm working with people who haven't up leveled to where I'm at yet. And so what makes me feel real to them and relatable is that I can tell them, you know what, I had this issue yesterday. I didn't get up at the time I wanted to. And I did, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
That makes them feel like, oh my gosh, it's not just me. And I can fall off for one day and not crucify myself over it.
Yeah.
Like I need to actually a lot of my clients are the ones that end up needing to have grace with themselves, because they're the hardest ones on themselves. They're not the lazy ones. They're usually the hardest workers. And it's like, you need to chill. you need to actually take a day off and enjoy your life. Because why are you working so hard to not get time off? Like, what are you working so hard for? To eventually get the time. So take the time now. Why can't you be living that lifestyle right now? You know what I mean? Like, what's an extra couple hours going to do for you to go and take a walk? It's not going to kill your business. You'll be fine, but it's going to do wonders with your mental health, and it's going to recharge you. So the benefits are so much greater than the risk you're taking of not working for a few hours. You know what I mean?
That's huge.
Yeah. So that's the accountability I get with them a lot, is like, okay, but listen, they're like, I did this and this and this, but I didn't do this. And like, I'll get into it. Okay, tell me about the week. Well, it was kind of a mixed bag. And then you find out that they like crushed it at like 90% of the things. And they're pissed about the one thing they didn't crush. And I'm like, okay, but I'm here to show them, look at what you did. Look at where you were last week and where you are this week. And they're like, yeah, I didn't think about it that way. And I'm like, exactly. That's where you're supposed to be. That's progress. It's progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
And we just continue to progress. So
cool. Yeah, it's so wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Absolutely. This has been great. I like want to turn this conversation into a podcast episode. It's so fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need anything, I mean, just reach out.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you sharing everything and sharing the space. with
Absolutely.
me.
Yeah. It's a good time. I love having conversations like this. It really feels like, even for us, sometimes, we get to a point where it's like, oh, are we doing enough? Are we, should we be looking at other things? And so having conversations with people like this, it's like, oh no, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Everything happens in divine timing. It's really important to remind ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. But yeah, definitely keep in touch. And if I have any other questions or things I want to share with you, I definitely will. Yeah.
Shoot me a message. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Recovering Perfectionist Podcast. I'm Christine, and if this episode resonated with you or spoke to you in any way, please feel free to share. I absolutely love hearing from you guys and your thoughts about the topics based on your experiences. And also, if there's anything you want me to talk about, just screenshot this episode and share it on social media with your comments. Your feedback really helps me to curate episodes that best serve you. If you have time, I would greatly appreciate if you could leave a review wherever you're listening to this episode, whether on Apple or Spotify or any other platform. I'm wishing you a blessed week ahead, and remember, perfection doesn't exist. Take messy action. Healthy habits keep us balanced, and you are enough.